Hi, it's DerpyMoose99 here with episode 9 of Banished with megamod 9. Let's do a status check here. We are at 718 citizens. Our food graph's looking good. If we go into production here and set this for 1 year, we use 74,000 roughly food and we produce 95,000, so that's good. It won't last forever though because we're growing fairly quickly. So I've set a new builder record here. We are now at 278. I'm actually going to start writing this down to track it. We're building a bunch of tailors for our various products that we want to make coats out of. We had to kick in our reserve blacksmiths, so we've laid in 4 more blacksmiths. Up here on the dock, I've added a bunch of reed farms. We're still running out of reeds, so I'm going to do another row up here of reeds. I also want to use some of the other things in the dock set, so if we go in here and have a look. So there's this one here, the dock wood finder, rice wine still, that's what I was talking about that makes, I think, sake out of rice. Water scavenger. So there's a few things in here I don't normally use, driftwood scavenger. So I'm going to build some of those things up there and just see how they function. The other exploratory thing I want to do is here I've got a salting house and a smokehouse being built. Now the reason for that, if we go back to the town hall for a second, if we look in our inventory and we'll sort it by quantity again, we have a ton of rice, so we're going to deal with that via flour. But we also have 7,000 duck meat. And our fish, I don't see there's the fish, 19,000 fish. Last series I did canning, but this series I want to try salt and smoke if they're appropriate. I'm going to build 2 of those to see what the actual recipes are. Steve had a question on these hunting blinds here. So if you zoom in and look at it, it's got a gun port, where I would assume that you'd poke your shotgun out and take out the ducks or whatever, but we don't have any muskets, any guns or anything, so not sure exactly how they're achieving what they're achieving. But if you look at some of these, that's 400 duck meat there. One of these had 1,000. Yeah, this one here, 1,000 duck meat from one person. So I built those in a panic, but I think what I'm going to do is actually leave them in. Oh, I was talking about the salting house and the smokehouse. So down on the lake here, we haven't turned on these other 2 fish docks yet, but if we look here, yeah, that's 3,300. Last year, these things were producing like 4,000 each, so tentatively that's 16,000 fish per year. So I want to set up over here, I'll build over to the left, we'll set up some storage, but I also want to set up a town hall, and this is going to be our fish smoking and salting area over here. I don't know the exact recipes for salting or smoking the fish, but we'll set it up and play with it. I built out our pasture area a little bit more, added some houses, stuff like that. I've turned down a couple of the dairy producers because we were running out of milk. I assume as these other pastures fill up, we'll get a little bit more milk, so we can turn some of those back on. We have 2 fields in reserve at the moment. I've built some more crop fields and orchards down below here, and I'm designing a little city center here. This is going to be based on Old Town Market, and I'm going to try these gable houses here. I've never tried these before. They say they hold 6 people, so that sounds pretty cool to me, so I put a few of those in there. I did notice, actually, when I picked this map out, I picked it out because it had a bunch of lakes on it, and because of the good trade river here. But I'd kind of forgotten about some of these other lakes, so I'm going to build out into this lake, although not very much. And up here is even a 4th lake too, which I don't know if we're going to get to in this series, but that's pretty cool. In this city center here, now this is our farming community over to the right. Probably going to build some more farms down, but out to the left, I want to build some plantations. And the reason for that is we've got our 2 temporary cotton plantations here that have been here for, like 30 years or something like that. And also, yeah, red mulberries, that's just food right now, so we're going to probably move that as well. I want to clear this stuff out and make room for a little more production. Now also up here, I've built a couple of roads up linking these communities together. I've marked out where the yellow circles from the forest node is, and I'm going to clear out all this land up here. And this is where I think we'll do a bunch of production. So I'm not sure exactly what kind of production yet. Probably we're looking for a home for our silk production. So that would be a good thing to actually have in this area up here, with our tailors down here and stuff like that. If we go back to the town center, We're also short 16 or so houses. Now, by the time this build queue is finished, we'll probably be short 50 houses, so I've laid in quite a few houses as well. We only have 20 builders and 13 laborers, so what I'm going to do is go on pause and let this run, and I'll be back when there's a major development. Hi there, we're back from a bit of a pause here, actually a long pause. Like I kind of got lost playing the game and forgot that I was trying to record something. Let's do a status update on where we're at. So we're now at 816 citizens. Our food graph has flattened out. So I've turned on the fish down here. So we now have 4 of those super duper fishing things going on. And over here to the left of the fishing community, I started a little community here with a school, a market, and some salting houses, and also a couple of salt works. So these have to be on water. Now it says seawater, but you know, just in case anybody's curious too, the salt works are just out of the fishing circle, so we're safe there. I made sure of that. I built a bunch of stuff here just to kind of play around with it. So the first one I want to look at is the smokehouse. Now, so remember what I'm looking for. I'm looking to do something with all the fish we've got and all the duck meat we've got. So far, I can't think of anything that does anything with duck. But the smokehouse will do smoked fish with fish logs and a barrel. Also, we can do smoked cheese, interesting. Smoked chili. Cheval, oh, that's horse, I think. Won't be doing any of that. Llama meat. Log barrel. So log barrel. Akubasa, cool. And we can, okay, so this smokehouse is kind of neat. I think we'll be building a bunch of those. So the salting house, beef, pork, bison, deer, horse, llama, mutton, cheese. Bottom one, it says surströmming, assuming that's Nordic. Fish, salt, and a barrel. So everything seems to revolve around barrels. And the other thing I built here was a soup kitchen, which I've never built before. Chicken soup, beef, broccoli, miso, lobster, corn, strawberry, tomato, and venison. And village kitchen down here. So this seems to do soups and stews. Oh, it's using herbs. We should buy some herb seeds, I guess. Root, not sure where the roots come from. Maybe they gather. Carrot, cabbage, onion, beans. Oh, we can do beans. We don't have onions though. This one is something to aim for. It's a vegetable stew with pumpkin, beans, and onions. And firewood. The only thing we're missing from there is onions. Okay, oh, fisherman's catch. Fish, mollusk, and firewood. Interesting, okay. So I'm going to find a more suitable way of laying this out. I just built those for experimentation purposes. So I think up here, I've started another dock thing, and I'm going to put some water scavengers in. So I think this, where the heck did I put it here? This guy, the village kitchen. Fisherman catch. I think I'm going to maybe even leave it right. Well, no, I should move it up. But we'll build some of those too. Cool. Okay, and while I was noodling around trying to find something I haven't used before, I found these little guys. Water mills for mills. So I've got them doing rice. And I came across this thing. I kind of chuckled when I saw it, a croc hunter. So I put one in just to see what would happen, and it's actually getting crocodile meat. So I hope the duck hunters are aware that there's crocodiles in the water. And let's have a look over here. So this is starting to clear out. So I've laid in some bakeries over here, 2 different kinds, just to fit in the space. So those will take a while to build. What else did I do? Okay, this little town center's come up. And I realized I cramped it in too much. Not real happy with myself on that build. But the build queue's so ugly right now, I'm not going to tear it down and rebuild it. Okay, and over here there is a... what is it? So it's another mill. Okay. And up our pastures and our fields are come up. So, okay, now over here is going to be the plantations. Now that's for cotton and a few things like the white mulberries and stuff. So, but I think down here we better actually start activating some of these. Now we don't have a great amount of houses close by, so I'll have to deal with that. But let's check our old orchards here and see where we're at. Okay, those are mulberry and pecan. Why don't we go... Now let's just work down the list. We'll go apricots. Oh, this is the bottom. This is 2. And laborer pickup. Okay, and peaches, 2, and labor pickup. And this is walnut, 2, and labor pickup. Okay. There was a hospital here. When I cleared out all the trees, I found a hospital that I'd forgotten about, so I'm terminating that one. Let's go back into there. So, what did we have here? We had lentils, peas, beans, spinach. Okay, put spinach in. And this one was 3. And again, because it's an experiment, I'll mirror both the fields on the side of the major thoroughfare here. These ones down here don't matter so much. Although I'll keep them on the 2 and the laborers for now. So I think we'll go sweet potato, and we're already doing tomatoes in the greenhouse, I think, and peas. And you are beans. We took all our laborers, so we better put some builders back into the labor pool. Especially since we have laborers picking up food in the harvest season, so I'm going to have to be aware of that. Yeah, that's sort of balanced. Okay, I'd like to prioritize these plantations, but I'm not going to. There's a bunch of other stuff building, so when this stuff comes up, we'll move our cotton production. And even though we've got 2 orchards on white mulberries here, I might put a couple in the plantation area as well too, and then change those ones over. But we'll see how I feel about that. I'm really kind of curious about all this stuff, so I'm going to prioritize that community. I don't think I'll go on pause here. Let's just play for a while and see what happens. Yeah, there's 2 coopers going in there for barrels. Now, did I build any... What exactly did I build over here? So there's 2 coopers. Oh, 1 cooper. 2 coopers? Yeah. 2 salting houses. Some of these gable houses. A salt mine. 2 salt works. A couple of meat lockers for fish storage. Looks like a Port Royal market and a Port Royal school. And there's some storage over here as well too. Okay. I kind of like the look of them. I'm not too crazy about the color though. Where were they? Gable? No, that's the only color. But they hold 6 people, so if you want to maximize growth, that's the way to go. Assuming you have the resources. I think they're expensive, aren't they? 45 lumber, 3 building supplies, and a homeware. Yeah, that's pretty expensive. The other thing I did is I turned on our hardwood forester. So it's producing 30 hardwood. Now the logs here, I assume that's just getting the regular trees out of the way. And it did pick up some of the flowers too. Okay, and I built a second house in here. So the market, close enough, I think. And I'm building 2 more joiners here. I probably should put some storage there as well too. Crafted goods, I think. Okay, I see I forgot roads. Okay, let's go see what this was. We don't want any of that. You can go away. Okay, let's go back up to our pastures for a second. So the only other animal I bought while I was off camera was goats. We now have 22 goats. And I think what I'm going to do is this very top left pasture over here, we're going to reserve that one for our quarantine pasture. Okay, there's our Port Royal school. You know what? Did I put a school in this dock? I've been derping a lot in this one. So let's turn that on, even though probably no kids yet. But the dock didn't have a school. What a dummy. Well, these houses are fairly far from that too. Yeah, you know what? I don't like that at all. Let's put a school in. How about right by the market? Okay, there's our market. I'll just put 2 in there for now. I think I already gave this the priority, but what the heck. Now I see our stockpiles up, so let's gain some clarity of view here. Okay, it might be too late to see what the trader is out. No, we don't care about that. So one thing I found when I was working along there is I glanced up and I saw my iron supply was down to about 2. Originally I didn't set this one to buy iron, but I set the 1 trader coming there to bring iron, and I've upped the purchase to 200. So we've now got 1400 iron. So when these final blacksmiths build, I might turn them on musket and use that as a trade good. Over here to the right, I built a mine, and I used one of these covered stockpiles for minerals. So the intention here is once this is built, is maybe put a small market over here and some houses, and then I'm going to produce coal from here, and we're going to use, I think last series we got up to steel tools. I think I might go straight to carbon steel tools. Okay, some stuff's got to build. Yeah, some houses have laid in. Let's play for a little longer, and then maybe we'll do a build pause here. Every time the build queue goes down, I build it back up. I guess that's a bad way to play, but I kind of get excited about building stuff, so That's why I do it that way. Let's balance out the builders and the laborers. We got some road issues here. People are coming around the mountain here. Stands to reason, I guess. Wonder what the best way of dealing with that is. Build a road probably, right? Well, our mulberries are in the way. So it's late winter. You've been harvested. Yeah, let's just turn you off and terminate you. All the stuff that's been here for 30 years or 40 years. General trader has somebody. Iron, stone, log, charcoal, gemstone tools. Huh. Let's just buy those just for a giggle. Or maybe not. 13,000 for 40 tools? Oh my god. Sorry, dude. We could probably make that work, but I ain't spending that much. Okay, now remember we built, way back when, we built a dense tree shack here. And I was wondering if a gatherer would actually work in there. And the answer, it looks like, is no. I'll just pin that for a bit and watch it. I think the theory was that the trees are so dense there's not enough room for other things to grow in there. Okay, we'll just leave that for the moment. Let's have a quick look through our pastures here, see where we're at. So the longhorns, I think, were the first ones to reach capacity, and they're still producing a ton. What do we got here? Beef cows. And they're at capacity too. So beef, blueberries, not blueberries, mountain oyster. Oh dear. Rocky Mountain oysters, eh? Okay, I bet you, we should check how much leather we've got. We probably got a ton. So we've got 3 cow butchers in here. I wonder if they're keeping up. Okay, having trouble reading some of those, but those are sheep, I think. Yeah, so wool and mutton. Okay, what that tells me is we need some sheep butchering. So let's put a row of sheep butchers. And what do we have over here? Llama. And they're at capacity too. So we're getting llama meat and wool from them as well. And trade pigs. We're producing trade pigs. So 28 last year. Where would a good place for llama butchers go? How about right there? Okay, the dairies I turned down to actually only 2 working. I'm gonna maybe go to 3, just see how that works. Now, what was I gonna check? Were the cow butchers keeping up with the supply here? We have 31, almost 3,200 beef there. So I suspect our butchers aren't keeping up. How are we doing for tools? Our tools are okay. So let's go, yeah, muskets, and we can sell those. Okay, and I'll just leave this guy here so I know when the first one's built. Okay, the other thing to deal with here is coats. So let's go back to our inventory. And let's go back to quantity here. So we have a metric S ton of feathers, almost 13,000. Our water production's gotten a bit out of control. Mutton. Still can't figure out what to do with the duck meat. So if anybody out there knows what to do with duck meat, I would appreciate a comment. What am I looking for? I am looking for things to make coats out of. So we have a lot of cloth. Well, we're almost 1,000. We have some pelts. I wonder where the heck that's pelts and fur. Betcha that's coming from the hunters. Now we have almost 500 silkworm eggs, so we can do some serious silk production here. We got a bit of cotton. Bonehead, what were you? Oh, I was looking for leather. That's what I'm looking for. 1,800 leather. Oh, and we also have the wool from the llamas and the sheep. Okay, get your game together here, boy. So we have a bit of cloth, but let's just go straight up wool on that one. And what do we got here? Yeah, let's do, what do we have for warm coats? We were saving the warm coats for the citizens. Why don't we go leather and wool? Okay, and this one, what have we got here? We've got warm leather, cloth, straight up linen, straight up wool, leather and wool. Let's do another wool. I think we're going to have a lot of wool. And this one, furs and hides we had. So let's put that one on fur. And I think I'm going to put a few more of these in because we had hide to deal with. And this, we haven't even built anything for silk yet, so the silk tailors are going to have to be in a different location. And speaking of silk, cleared this area out here. Originally I was going to put mills in, but we're using these ones that go around the water's edge. So I think what I'll do is I will build a fairly robust silk production and maybe some tailors up in this area. We've got a dock market here. I think we'll keep with the theme of taking over the lake like a Borg assimilation, so I'll build some more houses there. So I think with all this massive build, it's probably not going to be entertaining to watch this all just grow. So let's just go back and pause for a little while and I'll come back with an update. Okay, we're back. Let's do an update, play for a little bit, and then maybe end the episode there. So I've done obscene things to the build queue, so I don't even want to talk about that. I think I better tone down my excitement level here. Kind of nerdy. Okay, let's have a look at our town hall. Our food graph is flat-ish, a little bit of growth. At least it's not going down. We're now at 952 people. 18 behind on the houses. That's not bad for me. There's a water scavenger coming up. So let's have a look at what's been built here. So these smithies built. I set them on muskets and then derped out and realized I don't have furnace fuel. So we're building a furnace fuel refinery over here. And when that comes up, then I'll start selling muskets. Although I've set our tool limit 1200 and it's only at 700. So I think I might turn a few of these on for tools. Yeah, maybe 2 of them. Musket production might just be a dream. Okay, mine over here is waiting for lumber because we don't have enough lumber. My hero. Okay, now what's our construction limit? 1600. We're nowhere near that. Let's up this anyway, so let's go, I don't know, 3000. That sounds silly. Okay, and that's 8 people making lumber, so hopefully that's enough. Now over here, I'm tearing down our salting house and our smokehouse. Those are just demonstration models. I left the soup kitchen and the village kitchen in for the moment. Although this was the one that did the fisherman's catch. And we're building water scavengers up here. So maybe what I'll do, let's just preserve food and prepared meals, village kitchen. Let's maybe put that in there. I'll add storage to it later. Here's where we're going to do our silk. Our silkwork huts are in the process of being built. And I'm using tailoring companies here. So that's going on there. I built some more roads to sort of support transportation here. And what I decided to do, remember previous update I was talking about all the excess meat we have. We have beef, mutton, and I always forget what the lamb has produced. What is it? Turkey? We have some butchers, but the butchers that we saw were struggling to keep up, especially if you don't staff them. So what I've done down here is I've put in 2 of the salt works, and I've put in 4 smokehouses and 4 salting houses. A bunch of houses will be built some century to support all this. So the thought process here is all these pastures are producing a lot of raw meat. If you refine it, like salt it or smoke it, you actually increase the amount of meat you have. I don't remember the exact factors, but it's, 20-30%, something like that. Down here, and we're producing our hardwood now. So there's 2 joiners here that are set for fancy furniture. Oh, this one I left open. Okay, so now we actually have some in stock. So we can go back to our docks and put fancy furniture in here. So we'll do 100 in each of these industry docks right now. Okay, so a couple other things. So I noticed our log supply is now down to $3.99, which is a bad thing, but it gives us a chance to check on our dense shack here. And see, it's producing, so say 132 so far by early summer. And let's have a look down here. And that one's 128. Okay, so the dense shack is equal to a forester with smaller area. And let's see, where was our, somewhere in here is gather. So that never did produce food. So let's terminate that guy. The gather experiment was a fail. Okay, over here we've, our plantations are coming up, but we don't really have enough people over there. So I've turned on 2 fields for cotton. And I bought onions, which we needed for some of the recipes. So I want to put a couple onion fields in. But all these were kind of taken, so I can either wait for winter and reassign, or what I wanted to do is maybe build a couple more fields here. And this barn was in the way, so we'll get that out of the way. Now, I'm a bit of a goof here. I saw this hospital was too close to the fields and stuff, so I built another one here. which I don't actually think is far enough away, but at least it's a little bit further. We have about 5 hospitals right now, the full-size ones. We haven't had a plague or disease yet, and I chalk that up to either really good luck or the no nomads. So you notice with this small town hall, we're not getting nomads at all. It doesn't even have the nomad tab, so our barrel producer's doing here. Okay, well, let's go down to our little village here. Oh yeah, I was talking about all the people that were walking around both sides of the mountain, so I've actually laid out roads on both sides here. They haven't been built yet. Of course, nothing's been built yet. With 362 builders are required. Here we have general food storage. We have one of our 18,000 capacity storehouses. Port Royal Market. Yeah, I think I covered this last time. But what has happened is our coopers have built and our salting houses have built. And I don't know the ratios required here. So these saltworks took 5 people. So I've turned one on, but not the other one. I'm building some more houses to support the second saltworks. So that's going to be actually 4 of these saltworks distributed around the map. We'll let those run for a while and sort of figure out what the ratio of saltworks to salting houses is. You can see we are producing salted fish here. I'm going to pronounce this word here, salted fish. Okay, and just for curiosity's sake, we're doing a bit of an experiment down here. So that's only 1800, so we probably have pathing issues again. 2000, 2000. 2000. So when this area was small and there wasn't many jobs and we had 2 houses right by the fisheries, these were producing 4,000 each. Now, if we use the really scary pathing tool, yeah. Okay, so I'm derping out on the housing again. So maybe these houses will help, but I probably should put a few more in there. Off camera, I'll go around and check everything with a pathing tool. I suspect I'm kind of out of control again. We've built a bunch of houses over here. We filled in this area to support the tailors and the blacksmiths. I'm going to expand this area over here by the lake. That's going to support our silk production. I think that's about it for an update. So let's just play it for a few minutes sort of see where we get to. Then we'll call that an episode. You know, I really debate on what toolbar to use. When I play by myself, I usually have the really large one. For recording here, I'm trying to use this one, and I'm actually finding it not too bad. What I'm actually finding is if I click on a place, like if I want to change gatherers, I click on a gatherer. So as long as I can identify what the requirement is, you know, the small professions tab seems to be fine. Now there's our fuel refinery here. Okay, let's go full stupid on that. Max it out. Just something here, when I was looking at these cool covered stockpiles, there is if you notice it says warning, it can bug out. Use at own risk. So what that means to me is I don't really need a bug right now. Okay, and I believe we had one up here as well too. That's too bad, they look cool. I wish I knew how long these episodes were. I should probably use my phone as a stopwatch to time how long the episode's going to be. I'll do that for next time so I know. So I don't know if this is short or long episode. So these are our water scavengers. I'm going to keep that open. I think that's things like clams and oysters and such. Okay, let's go back down. I think in the theme of, I'm not sure how long this episode is, I think we should do a summary deal with these traders and call that an episode. Clay and sand. You can go away. So let's have a look here. We are at 987 citizens, and our food graph looks like so. How long have we been here? 42 years. Let's look at our 50-year graph. Maybe 25, 10. Interesting. So that looks like a little dip, at least in inventory. We just turned on some of these salting items with the fish and a few other things. And the orchards we built last time, are they producing? Okay, just starting to. Now, interesting, here's what I was talking about in the previous episode, or these ones are all set for laborer pickup. So the farmers are plunking down these baskets. Now this is autumn, so this is in progress. Let's maybe just watch this for a little bit. I'm kind of curious. For all the years I've played the game, I've never actually hit that button or even read it. I just build farms and orchards and let them fly. I wonder if these are going to be the winners, because the farmers never stop picking stuff, so nothing spoils. Like this one here, that's clean. You know, the closest house here, like if we do the pathing tool, are up there. Let's maybe have a look here. This is our original ones. So this is the 3 farmers. And that was 1,500 lentils. And that's 2 farmers. And that's 16, almost 1,700 lentils. So this is actually what I was looking to test, is we have pathing issues right now because we're getting larger. And I'm derping out on my house placement again. So this is 3 farmers in a 15 by 15, and this is 2 farmers in a 15 by 15 with laborers doing pickup. That looks to me like we found the answer here. So at least on 15 by 15s anyways, it's use 2 farmers, which is what the calculator tool recommends. But make sure you're on laborer pickup. If I remember correctly, when we didn't have pathing issues, it was pretty much a draw between the 2. But this is what I'm looking for. So when I screw up on pathing, what's the best so we don't starve? Build queue is pretty big, but we're getting more and more builders all the time. Did we hit 1,000? Yeah, we did. Okay, we're at 1,015. In year 42, we have 100% clothed, 100% educated, 5 for health, 4.5 for happiness. Oh, look at our water scavenger. Pearls, oyster, crayfish, seaweed, and mussel. Okay, this had I was looking for fish, mollusk. Well, a mussel is a mollusk, but will that work? Okay, I'm just going to turn this on, just put 1 person, and see if it actually produces anything. I think we got a bunch of building to do, so I might as well do that between episodes. I'll actually try and start the next episode with a cleaner build queue. So this has been episode 9 of series 2, Banished, using megamod 9, and I am Derpy Moose. Thank you very much.